don't you see the irony or the hypocrisy of treating Muslim immigrants to Poland in the same way that some Britons treat Polish immigrants?
Okay, how many Poles blow themselves up in London or any other place in the world? That's the question I keep repeating.
There is a lot of crime carried out by Polish immigrants, according to...
Yeah, crime and blowing yourself up is incredibly different.
White people fine, brown people not fine. There's a word for that, isn't there, Dominic?
Good evening. Thank you for having me. It has nothing to do with your color. It has nothing to do with the religion. I keep repeating it for last 4 or 5 years. It's all about safety and the common sense. It's not about Ukrainians who are allowed to come to Poland. It's about illegal migrants who wants to cross our borders. And if you're brown, white, yellow, or whatever, if you want to cross our border illegally, you're not allowed. We are reacting.
Well, first of all, plenty of people are coming into Europe legally as asylum seekers. You have a legal right to asylum from places like Syria. But you say it's not about religion. You said, quote, we will not receive even one Muslim because this is what we promised. You didn't say illegal immigrants. You said we will not receive even one Muslim.
It has nothing to do with the Muslim religion. It's not Islamophobia, as someone's trying to tell us. It's all about this moment and this fact that at 2015, Angela Merkel started this madness. And now this is a problem about Muslims mainly coming to Europe. I'm surprised they are not going to Saudi Arabia, Qatar, or any other rich Muslim countries. They would feel much better, isn't it? Europe is not responsible for what is happening in Syria. Poland is not responsible for what is happening in Iraq, in Syria, in other places. We never had any colonies. So if this problem is a global problem, where is Saudi Arabia? Where is Qatar? Where are the other Arab countries, rich Arab countries, which should help? They can help. Mecca is a great example. 100,000 tents used only once a year during the pilgrimage. 4 million people can take this shelter and live there for a year. They're empty. Nice, beautiful tents, air-conditioned tents. They are empty.
If you look at the statistics, you can see that at places where Islamic immigration was allowed, the crime rate is going through the roof, such as the UK and France. But look at Poland. Why is the crime rate so low? Why is the sexual assault rate so low? Because they have not imported a culture that doesn't approve of their values. You understand what I'm saying?
Objecting to refugees from Syria because they're not Christian or because they shouldn't be in Poland. Which one? You seem to offer different excuses at different times.
You have to apply. Polish law is very clear about it. Submit your documents, apply for a visa, get us the criminal back check, and then we're going to decide. We are not forced by any law to agree for that. It's the same in America. Even if you have a visa and you're trying to enter US, you still might hear, no, you're not allowed. And there's no explanation. No one from US side, they don't have to really explain it.
That might make some sense.
They don't have to say why you're not allowed.
That might make some sense if you said, if you hadn't said, we will not receive even one Muslim. If you hadn't bragged about the fact that you don't have mosques in Poland. I mean, it sounds like you don't want them there because you're anti-Muslim and anti-Islam.
So let me go from the legal path to the society. So legally, you have to apply, and legally, you're allowed to apply, and this is up to us if we agree to have you in Poland. That's number one. Then our society, our structure. I keep repeating that in many mosques, we can hear about hijrah. For us, homogenic society, Christian society is a value. For me, multicultural society, it's not a value. I used to live in London. I used to live there for 5 years. I used to work in US, and I see the fruits of multiculturalism. For me, it's not a virtue. For me, it's not a value. So we have a right to think about our future in a way we want to. So Christian culture.
I agree. Multiculturalism is not something that works really well. If you try and intertwine a bunch of different cultures with one another, they're just going to segregate themselves and the culture is going to be ruined. You can see that. It's a prime example in France and in the United Kingdom, Whitechapel. Take a look at that. Multiculturalism is a sabotaging factor for a stable society. And that's why the UAE works so well and Saudi Arabia works so well, because they're tribal countries divided by tribes. And that's why there's order and organization. That's why Iraq is a failing country, because there's so many people, so many Alawites and Arabs and different types of people living in the same country.
Roman law, Greek philosophers, these are the virtues for us.